So good evening, Patrick. It's very, very nice to see you here online, and thank you for your valuable time for this interview. Well, I'm Christel Schneider from the Camelot project, and could you introduce yourself briefly and say a little about your professional background?
All right, I'm Patrick de Boer, and I teach mathematics at a secondary school in the Netherlands. It's my ninth year of education of teaching, and I'm going to start with this year. So I've been around for some time, and I have been working at a bilingual school for pretty much all that time. I'm a bilingual student myself as well, so I've been going through the course for 6 years, learning English by doing really and by applying it in different subjects. And I also chief editor of CLIL magazine, which is an international magazine about bilingual education. And as CLIL is a bit of my expertise now, I also give workshops and speak on conferences about it. And that's how I got into contact with the Camelot project.
Ah, okay. That sounds really interesting. And so which subject? You said it's mathematics and
Yes.
other subjects as well, or?
No, I just teach
No.
mathematics.
And you do that in English, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, at the school that I currently work on, because I switched schools over summer, the schools I currently work on, I only teach 2 classes in English and 3 in Dutch.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I still teach it in English as well. Yeah.
And which level do you teach in? I mean, the English you teach, which level is that?
You mean concerning the European framework?
Yeah, for
Because
example. Yeah,
that would
yeah,
be a bit hard to. I start with 13-year-old who
yeah.
come from primary school and have barely any English background at all. So I start
Okay.
really low level,
hmm
and that's the first year.
Okay.
And I assume they know nothing. So until the first 8 weeks of the school year, I speak both English and Dutch with them. And after
hmm
that, I switch to English only. And after Christmas, they are not allowed to speak Dutch as well. And that
Okay.
works. They can handle that. Always going really fast. And I
Fun.
also teach third grades this year who are 2 years older. So they are going to do their Cambridge advanced exams at the end of this year, or
hmm
first certificate
Okay.
if they can handle that. And they also sometimes do checkpoints. I don't know if you know that. Cambridge checkpoints
Yeah,
exams. So then you
yeah.
have an idea of the level they're at. I'm not quite sure how you should, put that into the framework of the European
Yeah, but
framework
that's
language. But then
pretty
you have a
clear.
general
Yeah,
idea of what their level is.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Uh-huh. And well, which technology or online platforms do you use in your classes, if any?
Um, well, technology really, again, at my new school, I just started at my new school for about 2 weeks, so I'm still getting to know the possibilities there. But for example,
Okay.
last year, I used a few websites, and all we really had was a projector. Uh,
hmm
so I couldn't really go into smartboard era things. We couldn't do that at my new school. What I did used a lot was movies from YouTube. And for example, the Camelot project that we did was also a movie that was created for us that I used, but
hmm
also more interactive websites like Socrative,
Okay.
Kahoot.
Okay.
And for example, what I use a lot now is Class Dojo, which is a website that helps you keep track of the progress of your students
Oh,
concerning
okay.
homework and
hmm
in my case also motivating them to speak English. So I
hmm
use, and then I walk around with my iPad and I just randomly give them points, and they really like it because they, like to get more points if they want to, even third graders. So
hmm
that's the technology that I use right now, apart from obviously homework online and everything. But that's something that every teacher does, I think.
Okay. And do your students also use iPads in the classroom
No,
or no?
they can bring their own device if they want to, and
Yeah.
I will encourage that in the near future. But we're not in any way a tablet-based school or an iPad school. So
Ah,
just
okay.
have paper books. I do have my books on my iPad because something that is supported by the publisher, but
Mm-hmm.
no, the school itself is just a paper-based school.
Not like the newly created Steve Jobs schools or something, right?
No.
I just found that. read something about that in the internet. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
well.
it's about 20 of those schools right now in the Netherlands, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
20-ish.
yeah. Sounds great.
Not
Um,
sure about that.
well,
I don't
you,
know if it's a good thing, but it's okay if they want to try that, of course. They should just give
yeah,
it a go. And then I believe they've been doing it for about 2 years now.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
will probably get results soon. I read that about 2 months ago. Um,
Hmm.
they were going to launch a research to see if it actually worked. So the results will probably be around in about half a year or something. That will be
Hmm.
interesting
Yeah, that will be really interesting. Mm.
because so far it's all been about really speculation and ideas and thinking it would work. And now that they've launched, they can do research. They can actually see if it works. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Hmm. You mentioned videos that you're using videos, YouTube videos, and
Hmm.
you had one video made for your classroom for
Yeah.
teaching. Have you ever made videos yourself you use in the classroom?
No.
No,
Not
no.
not the way that I sometimes edit videos and just but I've never really created videos for explanation. No,
Uh-huh.
maybe a screencast every now and then, but not really like what we did now with three-dimensional objects because it would really cost me a lot of time to do that because I don't know how to do that.
Okay. And could you explore a little about the video you used that had been created for you and how your students liked it, you
Sure.
know? So,
Yeah, I used it for the Pythagoras theorem,
mm-hmm,
which is obviously something that most people know still from maths, and it's used a lot in two-dimensional shapes, but it's also something that can be used in three-dimensional shapes. And that step from going from 2D to 3D
mm-hmm,
is sometimes hard for students because they can't really imagine show it anymore because I cannot really, create a three-dimensional blackboard or something and cut through that. So the movie that was created really showed how that two-dimensional figure that we knew fit into the three-dimensional shape, for example, a cube or a cuboid. And that really showed my students how the things they already knew, their prior knowledge, fit into the new three-dimensional area. And after the video, I checked if they understood, and I even had a control group, another class who didn't have the video, and the students who had seen the video and had done the worksheet belonging to the video actually scored better than
oh, really?
the
Yeah.
group who had not seen the video and just had my regular explanation. So
Ah,
that shows that the video did help, I think, although it's of course just one class, so it's not like
yeah.
it's
But
scientifically it's
that's,
probably not the best way of researching things, but it showed me that it actually helps, and I will probably use part of that movie again, or maybe the whole movie again this year.
yeah. Will you have other movies developed for you?
At this moment, I've not been working on that. No, we focused on the Camelot project first, and it was also because Ton Koenraad wanted to have some videos developed and and before a certain date.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched schools, so the contract was with my old school,
Ah, okay, I
and
see.
I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure if he's still. It might be that he's still working together with one or two more colleagues at that school.
Uh-huh.
But at my current job, I have not made new contacts yet, so I'm not sure if we're gonna, work with Camelot again. It could be, but I've just not been discussing that with
Yeah.
Ton yet.
But I mean, it would be a good idea if you say that it kind of motivates students and the results are better, that you could, get into that even outside Camelot, you know?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I could absolutely do that. Right now, I'm focusing on, learning my colleagues' names and students' names and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, as when I work a little bit longer at this school, at this job, I will be able to yeah, come up with some ideas of my own and showing them from my experience how things work and maybe get them motivated enough to together work on some things and create more videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you any, or can you foresee any technical problems? I mean, in showing videos, or is that no problem, or don't you know yet,
No, it's no
your
problem.
school?
The school that I work at right now is actually more advanced concerning digitalization than my previous school was, so that's not going to be a problem. I can always show movies if I want to.
Yeah, yeah. And Have you ever been involved in any 3D worlds like Second Life or virtual worlds?
Mm, I believe I tried Second Life once when it just came out, but I've never really done anything with it. So no, not really.
So it does not trigger much interest. Do you know about
Well,
your
I
students?
am interested in I there was a time that I was really into creating 3D animations and those type of things. So I like, working with computers and I do like the whole idea of it and but I just never really delved into it. So it's not that I'm not motivated to learn about it, it's just that
Yeah.
I've done other things. But yeah, the whole concept of meeting people online or communicating through a 3D world seems interesting enough. I've just never done it.
And what about gaming? I mean, games, is that an interest of your students?
Or my
Or
students, yes, definitely.
yeah. I mean, that might be. I know a physics teacher who uses World of Minecraft, and he uses that to explain physical phenomena, and that is quite interesting. And he does that with his students, and
Yeah,
I thought, yeah, so there is great potential. Do you see that?
absolutely.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's not like I know an example immediately right now, but I
yeah.
do see that there are possibilities there. And
Hmm.
just like with the video, I could, provide an idea of I'd like this to be explained, and then I just gave it to Ton, and he said, well, I know someone who will probably be able to build this.
Hmm.
So, and then the video came back and it looked really good already. It just had a few, remarks and it was finished. And I really had a product that I liked a lot. So, and that didn't require any knowledge about 3D worlds from my side. So
Hmm.
that way of working I liked a lot. But for me to really implement it in my own lessons live, I have to first learn a bit more about those
Hmm.
worlds. So, and I'm not quite sure what's possible or not. So I
Yeah.
first have to maybe hear some ideas from other colleagues to say, well, I used this part of the game or this part of a website or this part of a
Hmm.
digital world to explain that topic. And then I'm okay, okay, I don't mind
Hmm.
figuring it out and trying it, but I need to be a bit more specific than just, try some software and good luck
Yeah.
because that would just take too much time.
Yeah, that's right. And what about the lesson plan? Did you create that, or was that along? Did that come along with the video?
I did create the lesson plan myself, but I did, there was a framework of Camelot that Ton asked me to fill out. So there were some details there concerning exactly what the video should be about, and also concerning the lesson plan, what exactly I was going to do with it.
Yeah.
But the whole lesson itself, the way I planned it and what I wanted to do and everything, that's something that I did myself. The same
Uh-huh.
with the worksheet, by the way. The worksheet that was accompanying the video was also, there were some questions before we watched the movie, then during the movie, then after the movie. And because
Yeah.
it was bilingual education, I also had to focus on language a little. So that's that whole part. That whole worksheet I created myself as well.
Wow. Yeah, I must have a look at it again. I saw it, I saw the video and I thought, ooh, that's quite a different video from the language ones we use so far. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
mathematical.
yeah, absolutely. Patrick, actually, I have asked all the questions I had
Okay.
to ask. If there is anything you would like to know, I'm happy to answer questions as well. But
Well, what is the direction of Camelot project right now? So Tom and I hosted a workshop in on a conference some months ago, and I was just wondering what's the next step now, or what's going to be the final or the next follow-up part of the Camelot project? Are there going to be any new videos, or is it going to be something that there's going to be a new round or something? I'm not quite sure what the structure of the whole project is. Is my question clear or not?
At the moment, I mean, we have been doing a lot of field testing in different areas, and of course, this CLIL course was part of the field testing, and there were others, language courses in different areas from our partner in our partner countries. And at the moment, we are evaluating all these feedbacks from these courses, and I'm interviewing and I'm evaluating the interviews. And we also had 2 teacher training courses, which facilitated language teachers and also CLIL teachers to make their own machinima. And so at the moment, I'm also writing reports and evaluate them. And yeah, we hope to have follow-ups with more teachers who are interested in actually creating their own machinima, and we also use them for different purposes, for have students in world, or use them as you used your format as ready-made machinima, or that teachers create their own machinima. And so, as I said, I'm just in the middle of the evaluation phase at the moment. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, and have a good rest of the evening.
I will. Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.